One channel, different shows, everything entertaining. Make a Path presents Let's Talk. Alright Deadheads, this is an interesting video I've been waiting a few weeks to do. Why the governor is to blame for no villains. Alright Deadheads, this is kind of a fun video to do. It is something that I hinted on before The Walking Dead even aired back in October, and I told a lot of people who they thought I was batshit crazy that this would be the case. And guess what? It is the case. It's probably one of my own from-the-gut writer predictions of what they should do. My prediction was that we won't see any big bad guys. You know, there will not be any. So, no matter how much they're hyping up Terminus and they're hyping up the hospital, it will not be what we think. They will not be big bad guys. And it turned out that way. Because Terminus, even though they were bad guys, you know, straight evil, they were cannibals, they weren't big bads. They didn't dominate the large portion of the story. They were overconfident. Gareth was way too cocky. He thought he was just too damn smart, and he was an idiot. He fell right into Rick's trap. He underestimated Rick, and he died quickly. By the end of the hospital arc, people didn't even know whether the hospital people were good or bad. All they knew is that they were pretty messed up survivors, and that was basically what they are. That's all they are. The human threat in Season 5 isn't a big bad evil like the governor. The human threat in Season 5, although very dangerous, it was not a big evil. It was not a big villain. And moving on through Season 5, I believe we will not get one. And for people who want the human conflict, there will be human conflict, but there will not be a big bad villain. He is still a season or two at the bare minimum away. Now, I know a lot of people immediately are going to say, oh, wait a minute, but what about these scavengers, or what about Derek's group, or Pete, or what about this or that? Let me tell you something. You can have human conflicts, but it doesn't make them the big bad guy. When we move on from Season 5, we are going to have to deal with the ramifications of Beth dying in the mid-season finale. We're going to have to deal with Maggie's storyline. We're going to have to deal with some of Daryl's storylines. Carol, the whole group is going to be dealing with something. And Noah is going to most likely be taking them to a community, or an area, not a community of people, but an area that has big walls. Something bad's going to happen with that, and then we're going to be introduced with a new character a little bit later on, a gay man named Aaron, and then we're going to be going to a big community with people. For those of you who don't know yet, if you could picture Woodbury a lot bigger and not run by a psychopath, run by decent people for the most part, then that's what we're going to be running into. But we're also going to most likely run into domestic problems. We're going to run into supply run problems with the walkers. We are going to run into scavengers, kind of like the roamers, like Joe's group. And these aren't big bads. They're just, it's a human threat, but it won't be a big bad. And again, the reason for that is because in writing, you don't want to go right from the governor to Negan. The governor, being as a big bad as he was the main villain for all of Season 3 and half of Season 4. We are going to go half of Season 4 we already went through, half of Season 5, that's still not even a lot. We should run through the next half of Season 5 and all of Season 6 without a main antagonist. That would give us a minimum of 2.5 seasons without a big bad guy. So in a long story short, guys, we will have walker problems. We will have the human threat as far as domestic problems, meaning an abusive husband, that's possible, but we're also going to have issues with people not getting along. Scavengers, which are people who roam the local areas and they like to take things from you, kind of like the roamers. You're going to have people like this, situations like this, but nothing that's going to last a long period of time. It might last a few episodes. I mean, at most, they might drag an underlining story out like the abusive husband. They might drop hints and drag that out for a long period of time. But I feel confident now, putting it out there in the open, that we will not see a big bad villain for almost definitely another 2 years at least. I feel, anyhow. Please hit that like button, share the video if you can, get the word out there about this channel. I would really appreciate it. And again, let me know how you feel down below. I'm done talking, it's your turn. Subscribe now.